Fancy intro music, yeah! Woo!
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's Rev Deuce, here to talk about that. You see it? Look at it. Isn't it nice? Isn't it pretty? It's the Valdore. And you yourself might be going, hey, how do I get one of these pretty Romulan warbirds from Star Trek Nemesis, which may or may not be a very bad video, very bad movie. That's up to you. You decide in the comment section below whether that was good or not. Fight scenes, action, it was all right. Storyline, I guess we'll let y'all kind of make. Maybe you can kind of tell how I feel. It's not worse than Insurrection, so there's that. Or the final. Anyway, let's just moving on. Talk about the Valdore. What we're going to do today is continue our series where we're talking about crewing ships, and I'm going to give you a crew for beating this bad mamma jamma in this video. So many of you are probably going to run across a lot of Valdores in your playing time. And for no other reason, the game kind of points you in that direction early on with some of the stuff that it gives you. And what I mean by that is, let's take the beautiful ISS Jelly. A lot of people have them. Wow, I've really need to put officers below deck. 4.1 power, that's pathetic. But anyway, a lot of people have them. This is, of course, with my skin on there, the Constellation. But you can see it's the ISS Jelly. But with this event, or with this ship, you get two events that are really at level 39 you can sit and camp at. They help you prepare to get the Valdore. ISS Jelly Brawl, Belum. I talk about Belum a lot. ISS Jelly Brawl, once you get the ISS Jelly, is another thing that is extremely beneficial to you in terms of what you can use to get better and get stronger while saving up 4-star materials will do that. And one of the reasons I've actually got to get more refined ore is preparing for building a Valdore. It's not necessarily the best PvP ship of the uncommons, for those wondering. No, it's not. But at the same time, it's something that I can easily prepare for at level 39 and grind up for. So, I mean, I can farm in Tiger Core, I can do Jelly Brawl, I can do Belum every month. So all this starts coming together where, bang, we've got some. This is with me spending 4-star on research. I've got to scrap more Legionaries to build this up. We see I've got 3 or 4-star gas ready. I've got 4-star ore ready. And then there's also up here ship parts. I've got 26,500 uncommon explorer parts, and then 83.8 thousand regular explorer parts is from scrapping Mayflowers as well as doing those type of events. So the game really helps at level 39 prepare you for the ship, whether you want it or not. And I'm not saying you have to build it, but if you are, let's talk about some of the ways that you can do it well. And one of those crews is actually on Captain Ando's ship here, so shout out to Ando for bringing it by. And this is pretty, common, expected. In fact, I actually want to swap over to my Enterprise, just because it looks like I'm somewhat better with the Enterprise there. So they've got TOS Kirk, TOS Uhura, and then Marcus on the side. Now, that is a maxed Marcus, which is really critical for fighting other explorers like the Enterprise or the ISS Jelly. It's a very standard, good crew loadout. Now, you're not getting the same shield regeneration that you would on the Enterprise, which is obviously one of the things that makes the 3-star Epic Enterprise one of the best ships in the game. And for PvP, it gets used well deep into the game. People are using the Enterprise for PvP because of how its ship ability is laid out. But you know what? That's kind of fine, because as you look at the bottom right of your screen, look right here. 5 million hull, 4 million shields. Even with a max morale crew, and you can run max morale on the Valdore, which is Bones as captain, Kirk, and Spock, you get over 1000% shield regen for Spock's ability. But even then, you may get what? At most 250, 300,000 shield regeneration when you've got 4 million. And they're just the level of damage that ships start creating in the 4 stars, it really kind of tapers off as being a very effective crew. You can still use Kirk, Spock, Khan, but Kirk, Spock, Bones, with just that #1 morale crew. But this is still probably going to be a better loadout, where you're getting the shield penetration from Marcus, you're getting the shield bypass from TOS Uhura, and then of course you're getting morale and a boost to the it's on defense too, but a boost to the energy weapon damage that is cumulative, which is a really nice little growth. We've seen cumulative damage for officers like Riker be very, very useful. You see I'm running something similar here. Now remember, if you're using the Valdore and noticing that you're fighting a lot of ships that are based on critical builds, let's say, Lorca Tilly Khan is hitting you a lot, flip Uhura as captain. Make Uhura the captain there to help fight off those critical builds. But let's talk about some other loadouts here, and I'm just going to start putting some of those here on the screen. But I mentioned max morale, which is Bones, Kirk, Spock with Bones as captain. But if you're also working from let's say that you got to the 40s a little bit too quickly and you don't have a full set, well, Kirk, Spock, Marcus, 3 officers that you'll have by, level 44. How well and how strong they are is kind of up to you. But you will have Kirk, Spock, Marcus, which is a little run that you can throw in there. Then let's go into Kirk, Spock, Khan. It's the generic. Everybody knows it exists. Kirk, Spock, Khan is a generic PvP loadout that can go on any ship in the game. So we have to mention it here and kind of repeat it. And it does get annoying sometimes to see that everywhere. Like you just stop using Kirk, Spock, Khan on everything. Expand your crew database. But it does work. Another good one is a 5 Con Marcus, where you're doing stacking. Now, the tricky part there is that we've got crew's defense stacking for Marcus, and then you'll have stacking health for 5 of 10. That's fine, but stacking 2 at a time can be difficult. You see, on my Enterprise, I'm currently stacking defense with 16.6k, and that's still me leaving off a few officers. But stacking defense for my Marcus there because I want as much penetration to the shields as I can to lower my opponent's mitigation, which will then hopefully mean I win the fight. Combining that with the shield bypass of TOS Uhura. So really good. Now, a lot of people don't have TOS Uhura. So what other crews can you run? Well, I'm glad that you've asked. Not a lot. I mean, you can. You can. There actually are a few different ones that you can run. The tricky thing is that it comes down to your mitigation officers and where they're at. So like we're mentioning Marcus a lot here, but truthfully, you can swap that out with several different things and run, say, Yuki, Marcus, and then we want to swap this for, say, Khan, which he's currently doing an away mission. But you would run Yuki, Marcus, Khan to run a setup where, especially against a Romulan explorer like other Valdores, hint to what we're going to talk about in a second, killer loadout, where you get damage boost, shield strip, and the penetration, so you're lowering mitigation. So you're hitting all 3 elements of the game, and that is a fantastic run. Now, just because we're here, we'll go ahead and mention it. If you want to beat Valdores, like smack them around, especially if you're on an Enterprise, do this. Yuki, Marcus, Kirk on an Enterprise, you'll just wet paper towels, man. Wet paper. And I hate to be mean because the Romulans are the best ships in 4-star right now. Belum, Tribune, top of the list. Valdore, it's better than the ISS Jelly. And at high tier, it's better than an Enterprise. But even right now, if we discard changes, you see Ando's Valdore here, it is currently about, 9 million power. So let's see what tier that is. What, 5? Yeah, right around that. See right here. Or level, so you can kind of get the idea for a tier. And it also has a plasma beam projectile active. And you see, I've got the photon pulse, but they've got a plasma beam. All right, I see you, boss. I see you with your little plasma beam. But anyway, with a max Marcus, I can come close to blowing up this Valdore. So it's good, but also remember that officers are the key to any good PvP battle in the game, especially when ships start getting tiered up to a decent degree. And what I mean by decent is generally to the 40-50% mark of their max tier. Like for an Enterprise, that really starts taking off around tier 4, tier 5, before your Burrells are beating you when you're tier 2, and you're like, hey, this is frustrating. Why am I getting killed? It's the Enterprise. As you tiered up, it does definitely get stronger. And as you can see, I just want to go back to the battle preview here. Look at the hull damage or the hull numbers and the shield numbers. So you can't see because I'm in the way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna disappear real quick. Like, watch this magic. Where's Rev? I just hear him talking. I just hear a voice. But anyway, 2 million shield for the Enterprise, 2 million hull. So well over double what I have. And it's kind of what you would expect from a 4-star ship. And then, woo, look at that magic. Rev is back. So crews, Bones, Kirk, Spock. Go full on morale if that's what you got. Kirk, Spock, Marcus. Marcus is going to be a key here because you're fighting a lot of Enterprises, Valdores, Jellyfish. But if you're fighting D4s, Kelvins, you want to use Kang for interceptors, and then Sharvanik for battleships, Katingas, Augurs, use Sharvanik. Remember the Trinity officers. They're the most important PvP set in the game. Remember the Trinity. Marcus, Sharvanik, Kang. Marcus, Explorers. Sharvanik, battleships, Kang, interceptors. Tier 4, Tier 5, that's going to be your best PvP loadouts. Kirk, Spock, Khan, it's generic, but it works. 5, Khan, Marcus is an example of a generic run. You can also run Yuki, Marcus, Khan. especially going against other Valdores and stuff. Be very effective. TOS Kirk, TOS Uhura, Marcus, or any of the Trinity officers. TOS Uhura as captain, TOS Kirk as secondary, then your normal loadouts if you're going against critical builds, which is going to be con-based stuff. So there's a few different PvP loadouts that you can use for the Valdore. There are certainly others out there. But those are some of the most basic and most effective, especially when you focus on mitigation. And I can't harp that enough. If you've made it into the mid-40s and have not focused on mitigation officers, please stop what you're doing and do that. Go into the officer tab, hit transporter patterns, or the recruit button, go over transport patterns and simply blast everything you get into Marcus. Just do it, okay? Break down, get these 3 maxed. If you're not maxing these in the 40s, you're probably going to struggle in PvP compared to some of your peers. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. It looks like that. This is a thumbs up for me with the green screen eating away at my pale skin. Stop it! Live long and prosper. Stay safe with the Space Cowboys. Drop a comment down in the comment section below if you would like to get your questions answered, or you have thoughts about the Valdore itself, or even the strategy about using ISS Jelly Brawl and Belum to really prepare for it and scrapping ships. We talk about all these different strategies that make you more efficient in the game, and that's very important. Comment down below. As always, deuces, that's me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's been a great time. I'm outie. Bye. An even better outro than the intro. Yeah! Woo!